I got these because I was gonna do the LS swap. I wanted some beefier axles, but plans kind of changed with that. Still eventually gonna do the LS swap, but for now, we're gonna go boosted on the FA20. I have the kit on the other side of the garage, waiting to be installed. But here is a look at the 800 horsepower rated axles. Pretty beefy, especially next to the stock ones. So here are the two axles together, side by side. You can tell down here, the part that goes into the diff is a lot beefier than the stock. Then come down here, you see that this part is also a lot beefier. And so I did run into an issue with these when I first got them. So they have a 20-inch long version and a 19 3/4 inch. I guess the 19 3/4 was the previous or the first release, and then the 20-inch is their second release, or V2, whatever you want to call it. I unfortunately got the 19 3/4 and a 20-inch. Tried to get that swapped out, but clearly I didn't get that swapped out. So I was told that it'll work. I can have a 19 3/4 and a 20-inch, even though the 8.6s from factory, they both have the same size for driver's side and passenger side, but that's fine. I'm gonna rip the old one out, put the new one in. Y'all can watch me struggle as I try to get the old axle out of here. After you get the wheel off, you're gonna need a 32mm socket to crack off the axle nut. Since I already taken this off before and changed out the subframe, I don't have to notch this out. I already did that. You're gonna take your impact or breaker bar, pop this off. After this, you see that there's some play. That's fine. I already took this out, so it'll come out smoothly. I believe what I'm gonna do is disconnect the lower control arm and maybe the tow arm, and then that'll this hub freely. After you disconnect the lower control arm from the hub and then the tow arm, you're gonna want to push the axle out. So there's a couple different ways. You know, put a piece of wood here and then just tap it out with a mallet like that. Or if you want, you can take the center, or you can put an extension on here. Go ahead and tap this out. But if you're gonna be using the extension, you don't need the axle nut on there. Once it gets to that point, you're gonna need an extension. You won't be able to tap it out anymore with the nut and a block of wood. But just to break it loose so you don't ruin this part, knock it first and then tap it out. I think I need to adjust this a little bit more. Turn the hub some. And then you see binding a little bit. Make sure my cables are good. Cool. We're all the way through. Let's see if I can angle my hub. Got this all the way out. Brake cable's good. My ABS cable's good. Right now this is resting on, well, let me take it over here. don't know if y'all seen what I was doing, but I was pretty much just pulling the axle out of the back of the hub. And then next, it's just gonna be knocking it out the diff. So what I found that works pretty well is if you try to have this as parallel as you can, and then come up here along the side of the diff, put the breaker bar right here on the axle, and brace it right here against the pumpkin, and then tap it with a mallet and it should pop off. If not, give it a few whacks and then give it a strong tug against that axle, that part of the axle, and it'll come out. All right, so I somewhat got y'all set up looking zinc, where I'm going to be trying to tap the axle out of the pumpkin right here. Not a whole bunch of room, but this will work eventually. I'm gonna try to give this a tug and see if it'll come out. So I'm hoping that this is gonna work. It's worked for me before. Taking this and I just yank this out. Yep, just like that. So I'd recommend giving it a few taps, trying to get it loosened up, and then come on the end, and then just yank it out, and it should come out that easy. All right, so the installation process, pretty much straightforward. You're gonna put this in exactly how you took it out. So, like I was saying, make sure you keep this as parallel as possible. That'll help you a lot. Oh yeah, make sure you wipe down the splines too before you stick this in there. Make sure that everything looks good. We're putting this back in. Make sure all this is lined up. Let's go back in here. Okay, give this a little bit of a spin. Try to get these lined up in the diff. You know when it's lined up whenever you twist it, and it twists the other wheel. So just like how you pulled this out, you're gonna need to tap it in. So it's sitting right here. I don't know if you can see the other wheel spinning. So that's how I know that this is in here. We give this a little bit of a tap, push it in, and then should be good after that. So I have the lower control arm back installed, and I have the camber arm loosely installed. Now, maybe I could spin this with one hand. I spun it, and it spins freely. It spins the other way freely. The only thing that I don't like are these axle nuts. So on the other side, or I'll put a picture up on the video now, so you can tell that one has this lip on it and the other one doesn't. But once you thread this all the way on, there's not enough threads, or this nut is too long for this axle. I'm not too sure. So make sure you pay attention to that, but tighten up everything you loosened. Torque this down. I have the torque spec either on screen or down in the description. Don't remember that. And that's pretty much it.